So, about that whole you can't have a good defense with Nikola Jokic thing. After 2 games in Denver, the Nuggets have completely shut down Phoenix's high-powered offense, holding them to just 104 points per 100 possessions. The Suns' big three came into the series with a 125 offensive rating, including a similar output against the Clippers in round 1, and they have indeed tried to target Jokic as expected, but the Nuggets' defense might actually be built for this. In the past, the rangy three-point shooting of a team like Golden State has stretched Jokic to the breaking point, but Phoenix doesn't take a ton of threes, and their offensive stars prefer to score in the mid-range, especially out of pick-and-roll actions. So when Kevin Durant or Devin Booker run pick-and-roll, Denver has Jokic briefly slide with the ball handler before recovering back to his man. This hedge from Jokic requires coordinated rotations behind the play. The low man slides into the paint briefly to tag Jokic's man, and the high defender isn't worried about the corner because the Suns struggle to make this long skip pass, and they end up with a Durant drive and a foul. On this play, Phoenix sets the screen way out high. Kentavius Caldwell-Pope is in perfect position, pushing Booker toward Jokic. He recovers quickly, so the Suns try it again. KCP stays connected, which runs Booker into Joker. Aaron Gordon is pulled way over, but this is still a scary pass to the corner, and the possession goes absolutely nowhere, and it's a contested 3. So the hedge against Durant and Booker has worked pretty well. Jokic sags off to take away the roll pass here, and the help defenders are pulled way over, daring Booker to make this 40-foot skip pass, and a shorter pass just resets the defense. And when they put Jokic back into screening action, that low man is already in position to help on a drive, and it's a really tough shot for Phoenix. Here's that coverage against Durant, who will pick up his dribble prematurely at times, so nothing happens here. And Booker versus Michael Porter Jr. sounds good on paper, but he knows he has help with Gordon sliding off KD, which stalls the drive, and MPJ's length pokes it away, which turns defense into offense for the Nuggets. In the last video, we talked about Steph Curry dribbling in traffic, under pressure, and what a difference that makes in the playoffs. But neither KD nor Booker strings out their dribble like that, so they often pick it up near a second defender. And again, attacking Jokic leads to a reset. Note that Gordon's rotation here actually leaves Booker, but Denver will help off anyone in this series to prioritize the paint, and his length pokes it away from behind, which leads to yet another run out and more defense to offense for Denver. DeAndre Ayton doesn't shoot threes, so when Jokic comes up to hedge, he doesn't have to worry about the pick and pop, then calls out a screen for Booker so KCP can stick to him like super glue, and Gordon's length helps him in isolation against Durant, and it's a tough shot. Denver has a ton of bodies to throw at Phoenix's wings. Bruce Brown is smaller but quick, which means he can cut off drives and attack Durant's dribble, and Denver's always ready to help and rotate. Jokic shadows Booker early here, they have Brown on KD, and again, help jumps in front of Durant's drive. He slows up but keeps the dribble going, and Brown just rips him again. Because the Nuggets are versatile, they can switch the screens that don't involve Jokic without any worry. And this is a perfect example, because when Joker comes out to hedge on Booker's left, Jeff Green still contains him going right. Then Jokic is in good position on the next screen, and Denver will live with wing threes from Damian Lee. The Nuggets are getting creative too, occasionally throwing Jokic on guards or wings. He then switches here so Ayton can't post up. And again, help comes from the top, and look at all the Nuggets in the paint and around the basketball. This is a quick Denver defense, and they aren't afraid to help off shooters. Brown overloads the side, Gordon slides all the way over off his man, and Booker fumbles it away, and it's yet another turnover leading to transition points. This time Durant gets the treatment in isolation, Murray briefly doubles, the paint is again packed with bodies, and the trade-off is a Torrey Craig frisbee from the corner. Earlier this year, we talked about Denver's trapping and rotating concepts behind the play to protect Jokic, but they can only do this with quickness and working in harmony as a unit. And they've been incredibly coordinated against Phoenix, doubling Durant, bringing the next defender over, and KD finds a nice pass, but Green sends it because he's in good position. Essentially, the Nuggets are packing the paint and inviting Phoenix's role players to take a ton of threes. And so far, the Suns have struggled in these situations to find good shots, partially because they struggle with those long skip passes, so it's been a diet of twos. And that's the last really interesting part of this equation. Phoenix is taking a ton of mid-range shots against this defense. Most teams get more of their offense at the rim or the free throw line. Boston, Minnesota, and New York get twice as much offense from the rim or the free throw line compared to their mid-rangers. But in this series, nearly half the Phoenix offense is from the mid-range, which is a total outlier in the league today. And the thing is, it's hard to keep pace with elite scoring in 2023, even when you hit half of those mid-rangers, because the average half-court possession is actually worth more than that today, and the average Nuggets possession is worth way more. When Chris Paul runs pick and roll, the Nuggets are dropping Jokic and inviting Paul to take more of these mid-range shots. Since the Nuggets have better perimeter defenders this year, these shots aren't quite as easy as they were the last time Paul played Jokic. And even though Phoenix has 4 elite mid-range shooters, I think Denver will live with the occasional DeAndre Ayton 15-footer as well. Unless the Suns completely change up their attack, a key to finding better shots might be these skip passes to the opposite side against this swarming defense. And Booker had a really nice sequence in Game 2 where he was patient with the pressure and used the threat of the skip pass to find Ayton for a dunk. But otherwise, these hedges and traps and the beautifully rotating Nuggets defense have caused tons of problems for Phoenix's lead stars and turned others into idle shooters. And this flexible Denver defense has protected Jokic while creating a math problem for the mid-range happy Suns. The Nuggets have a ton of interchangeable defenders who have held up in isolation, while their active help, KCP, Bruce Brown, and Aaron Gordon have kept penetrators away from the basket, which has this wonderfully coached Michael Malone defense on the brink of the Western Conference Finals. For additional content, check out patreon.com/thinkingbasketball. Our playoff stats board is live this week with box score leaders, shooting numbers, and more at patreon.com/thinkingbasketball. That's also the best way to directly support us. Let me know what you think the Suns should try below, or if this is just a perfect matchup for this swarming Denver defense. Otherwise, I hope you are enjoying these playoffs, and of course, that you're having a great day.